NCAA basketball totals for Wednesday, January 18th. We're going to look at 3 games today on the card. Don't forget, we have our NBA segment out there as well. Also covers the totals. That's going on live on our Facebook page. Then we'll upload it to the YouTube channel, but that's 4 o'clock Eastern. So be sure to tune into that. That's been going pretty well, and it's a lot of fun. You can get involved. You can go ahead and chat with me, and we can converse about the games. It's just been great. I don't know what else to say. So please be sure to tune into that, share with your friends as well. YouTube channel, sbrpicks.com, Sportsbook review. We got all the odds and lines and the totals and the numbers, sign up bonuses, things like that. All the sportsbooks are there. Blacklist, sportsbooks you got to avoid. Good stuff there at SBR. So be sure to check us out. All right, we got 3 games on the totals today. For you new guys, this is where we try to beat the odds makers and the number they have set for the total of a college basketball game. We try to beat that line either over or under the total. Here we go. First one up we got is Florida, South Carolina. My favorite basketball coach, Frank Martin of South Carolina. I love that guy. Right now, odds makers have it at 134, and I'm going under. This is going to be a defensive battle. Now, the last matchup we have, oddsmakers set the total at 142.5. They were under that, 73-69. Still, that would have been, well over this total. So this number gave me a little bit of pause. But then when I dug into the defensive numbers, you're talking about 2 teams that don't push a lot of pace, that play really, really good defense. Let me tell you what I'm talking about here. Let me show you what I'm talking about. But I have to tell you because I can't really show you unless I pulled the stats in front of you. You got Florida, they're averaging 79 points per game. That's really good. South Carolina, 70.6. Average that out. That gets us to almost 150. However, let's look at the defensive percentages and the numbers. Right now, South Carolina allowing just 59.6 points per game. They're ranked 6th in the country. Florida, not bad at all, 67.1 points per game. These are 2 teams founded on their defense. That is their foundation. South Carolina, one of the best defensive teams in the country statistically. Right now, they're allowing opponents to shoot just 36.5% from the field. That ranks 3rd in the country. They're also 3rd in opponent 2-point shooting percentage and 6th in opponent 3-point shooting percentage. They're also 1st in the country in opponent field goals made per game at just 18.6 per contest. That's a really good team, South Carolina. Frank Martin's done a great job there. I love that guy. He's such a good coach. Kansas State never should have let him go, or never should have done anything they could to hang on to that guy. He's a tremendous basketball coach. Florida defensive percentages are not bad at all. They're allowing opponents to shoot 43.4% from the floor. That ranks in the top part of the country. They also rank in the top part of the country in opponent effective field goal percentage, opponent shooting efficiency. This is a good Florida defense. They like to get up and down just a little bit, but I don't think they're going to get to this 134 tonight. I think it's going to be more of a defensive matchup. I mean, you got South Carolina. They also rank 1st in the country in opponent assists per game. They're just a really well-coached team. They play great defense. I do believe they beat Florida in this contest as well. I think they're a small favorite, about -2. But I like under the 134 in this matchup. Next one up, we got Temple, Cincinnati. Low total on this one, too, 133. But I'm going over. A little trend we've been looking at recently is where odds makers have set the total, and then we kind of make a decision off of that if it matches up with the statistics. And this one does, because right now we look at this 133. This is the second time only since, these two have only, been in the same league only just a short time since 2014, where they match up since 2014. Odds makers have only had this total just once, and they had a 133.5 as well. So every other total besides that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the last 5 totals have all been under this. And I like for this to get over. Both these teams are, like Florida and South Carolina, good defensive teams, but when we look at their stats, they can score a little bit as well. So I look for them to get up and down. Temple's averaging 70.7 points per game. Cincinnati, 77.1. And they're at home. I think they're going to be able to score in this matchup. As well, their defensive numbers very solid. Cincinnati allowing just over 60 points per game. Temple, though, they're allowing 71 points per game. That's a little bit too much when they're on the road here facing Cincinnati. And Cincinnati, like South Carolina, is a really good defensive team across the board. But Temple can shoot just a little bit. They push a little bit of tempo as well, going over 60 attempts per game. It's a pretty good Temple team they have this year. And Cincinnati could score as well. They're shooting 47.5% from the field, which ranks in the top 50. So good offenses, pretty good defenses here, especially Cincinnati, but I like for them to get over that 133. It's a little bit of a numbers play for me. It actually looks a touch too high when you really break down these numbers, but I think they're going to be able to score enough tonight, and the tempo is going to be there with 2 teams. They get up and down. I mean, like I said, Temple gets up over 60. Cincinnati, despite their good defensive numbers, they get up over 61 attempts per game. So they have no problem getting out in transition. I think they're going to get over that 133. Last one up. This is a really crazy one here. We got Kansas State. Bruce Weber, Oklahoma State versus Underwood. Gosh, Oklahoma State goes so fast this year. And this total is ridiculously high, 157, against a Kansas State team that goes pretty slow and plays good defense. But the game is at Oklahoma State, so I'm going to take over the total. I'm going to take a shot here and take over. Let's look at some numbers here. We got, right now, this is, 157. This is since 2005. This is the highest total we've seen between these two teams. There was a 154 back in 2009 in which they went under. But the reason it's 157 is because Underwood's just gone absolutely bananas this year with that his offense, for Oklahoma State. But let's look at some matchups. You got Kansas State, they're averaging 75.2 points per game. Oklahoma State, 87.2, and their tempo is just ridiculous. They're averaging 29.6 field goals made per game. That ranks 15th in the country, and they're 12th in tempo, 64.6 attempts per game. So I think they're going to control the tempo. Kansas State's a good shooting team. Right now, they're shooting 48.4% from the floor. That ranks 25th in the country. So look for them to be able to score. This is going to get up and down. 157, I think they go to over 160. All right, let's recap that. We got Florida, South Carolina under the 134, Temple, Cincinnati over the 133, and Kansas State, Oklahoma State over the 157. Those are our three picks in NCAA hoops on the totals, and I wish you luck on your picks today.
Do your research before you bet. Check out our ratings guide to see which books have the best ratings and sign-up bonuses. Open up several accounts. Shop for lines at sbrodds.com. Always be ahead of the game.